you guys doing? Can you guys hear me? What's wrong? What's going on here? Forgot to raise a fader as usual. How? It's not a normal stream if something doesn't go wrong, right? As always, Jonathan, welcome. Charlie, welcome. Patrick, bonjour la France. Glad to be back with you guys. It's been a while. It's been a week. How? Yeah, life of streaming, right? Something must go wrong. Well, if something doesn't go wrong, like having to replace my microphone, because I want it to sound somehow good for you guys, I'm trying out something new today. I'm trying out having my microphone just sitting over there, off screen, and just let's check if it's in the way of my other camera. No, it's not. Good. We're streaming. We're doing something wrong. We must. But this week, first, I want to know, how was your weekend? Did you guys have fun with the wing? Hello, Poland. Sorry your name that I cannot pronounce. I'm so sorry. Mikey J? I'm sorry, man. But hello from Canada. Hello from the cold Canada. Probably not as cold as Poland right now, but cold Canada. Gerdo, I'm not the wingmaster. I know my way around this thing, but I'm not a wingmaster at all. Well, actually, if it depends on who you ask. If you ask my friend Dorian, hello Dorian, if you're watching this live stream. For those of you who don't know, Dorian is my nickname is Wing Commander. Hello, Andy. Good to have you back. If you ask my friend Dorian, which is the guy that you saw in the vlog that I did release 2 days ago, where I set up his studio, because I was about to say his father's studio, but now it's more his studio. Dorian is the son of Gary Wright. Some of you guys in the chat, or on most of my viewers, actually, some, not most. Some of my viewers know him from the song Dreamweaver that he released in the 70s. And he basically, after he got famous, built himself a studio in LA. And for a while, he recorded there, analog, tape, stuff, 24 track, a lot of synthesizer in there. And after a while, he got older and the studio went to not being used much to not being used at all. And it sat there for a couple of years before Dorian decided to invest in a wing, invest in something to revive the studio, something that would be a good in-out I/O interface, something that has good preamp in the back and a lot of processing if he wants to use the processing at that. He's Q-based bass for the DAW. We're not using the wing for recording in the setup, but he was pretty amazed of what I did on the wing. If you guys didn't see that vlog, go take a look on my channel. It's there. I have a video of me setting up the studio basically from scratch, or from unused status or unusable almost status to being a fully capable production studio. What happened there? Did you guys drop or something? Or it's my YouTube. I went to like 1 viewer. I watched the other computer. Okay, you guys are back. You guys are back. Sorry. Nice video, by the way. Thank you very much, Patrick. I spent a lot of time, I spent a lot of time doing the studio over there. Spent a lot of time editing that video because I film for 17 hours of footage. You guys saw like nothing of what happened there. I skipped a couple parts because I didn't have the full footage for that. I skipped some part just to make the vlog a little shorter and make it coherent from front to back or beginning to end. And Yeah, I skipped like basically I cheated. I will tell my people who watch the stream. I cheated. I say in the vlog it's 2 days, but it was actually 3 days, where we went out on the second day to get some stuff repaired. We spent some time around Hollywood Hill, the Hollywood sign. We spent some time around the area where Warner Brother is. So all the, what is it called? It's a city. I only have Compton in mind. It's not Compton at all. Burbank. It's Burbank. Spent some time in Burbank to a repair shop. I have footage of that, but I don't have much of it, and it would not make a coherent video if I introduced that in the middle of nowhere. But basically what you guys see as day 2 of the vlog is actually day 2 and 3, because it took so much time just to clean up the room, get some signal going. You don't have like footage, or I don't have footage of me like hands in the wall, behind plates, looking for stuff, finding out like connectors and old wires. I had a problem just to reach my arm in there, so tried to film that at the same time, like basically show like me with a arm like this in a wall and like pulling out cable. It was not interesting and really hard for me to film, so I just cut that. Sorry, your insert in LA will give you a lot of phone call, I think. I don't think so. Honestly, Gerdo, I don't. Okay. Sorry, it's the microphone. Okay, you're done here? Okay. Okay, sorry. Every time that maybe it's not the best setup for me, right? We'll change that in the next one. Seriously, I don't know if that gonna lead to anything. So far, having a wing and doing these live streaming videos gave me a trip to LA, because Dorian like took care of me for everything there. So a trip in LA, worth it. I don't know if it's ever gonna happen again, but sometimes you never know. Sometimes like gigs fall totally out of nowhere. Maybe I will be touring with a band in the next month in the States or around the world. I don't know. Funny enough, tomorrow I'm leaving for an island of France. I'm leaving for like the whole week. From basically the 28th of February to the 5th of March, I will be out in an island of France. Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon, for those of you who knows. It's on the side, it's on the North America side of the sea, but it's like officially an island that is owned by France. So, am I international now? I don't know. You never know where that's gonna come from. But if somebody want to fly me over, I know some people. Not too close from your place, Patrick. About a 6-hour flight, still. But you never know. Some people from church asked me if they could fly me to their spot to help them with their wing or set up their sound and everything. So maybe, hold on, just move the chat a little bit. Maybe you guys, maybe you guys will come along with me on the ride of being international sound engineer. I don't know. Easily 6 hour, yeah. Actually, I could drive for 6 hours if it was not that far, but doesn't work that way. My smart car doesn't go really well on the sea. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Uh-oh. I'm having a bug. Can you guys hear that? Do you guys hear the music fine? It's the second time doing this. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but I had a clock issue where I would lose a connection for a second. It will come up like faster, so I'm gonna guess my computer somehow tried to clock it at 41K. Music is fine for you guys. Okay, so maybe it's just in my headphone, and the vocal didn't cut, my voice didn't shut down there, or sound glitchy and everything. Maybe I have a problem with the USB extension that I have, because I'm running an extension, so. Hi, Anger77. Nice to have you around again. No, it's fine. It's fine. No, thank you, Patrick. Okay. So, you guys had a couple questions about my vlog in LA. And do I say this? Okay. I'm gonna say this. I purposely took some footage out of the vlog for some reason. I showed a little bit of what was happening there, but I didn't show everything, is because I'm planning on go back to the Dreamweaver studio. And I will show you guys a more in-depth vlog of what we found under the house. Basically, me and Dorian, when we went out under this father's house to dig out some stuff, because there was some road case in there, there's a lot of stuff there, seriously. Some road case that were filled with stuff, and at some point I start to move boxes around, and I'm not gonna say where. We found out a library full of 24-track tape. Full of 24-track tape that were recorded at the studio. We don't have the player anymore. They probably have been sitting there for like 25, 30 years. So they will probably need some professional guys to transfer them to digital and use them with a computer or something. But we found some tapes from Gary and probably some of the guys from the Beatles, because Gary used to be keyboard player for George Harrison and keyboard player for Ringo Starr. Maybe if the interest is there enough, I could go back and talk with Dorian, and I'm go straight out here. No. Maybe this will put me in trouble, but maybe I can talk with Dorian, and maybe I can go with a camera in there and film the unveiling of these tapes that were found somewhere around the studio. And maybe there's some unreleased stuff from, not the Beatles, but from George Harrison or Ringo Starr in there. There's some stuff for sure where the guys probably play on or gave idea, but I don't know. There was so many reel of tape there. I'm talking about a 20 foot wide by 4 feet high by 2 reels of tape deep of 24 track tears. There are hundreds. No clue what to do with that, honestly, because we would need to listen to them all and transfer them all to digital, and maybe find some conversation or other stuff that could be interesting, but who knows? If the interest is there, maybe we'll go there. Otherwise, let's talk about the console a little bit. Is it Benice? I think it's Benice. Let me know if I pronounced that right or not. One feature I need with my wing is all the channel external insert. 16 effect is not enough for my wing strips. What do you mean 16 effect is not enough? What are we trying to achieve here that the wing cannot do? Because honestly, when you talk about talk about the wing, all the channel with all the effect that you have in there, all the EQ option that you have here, all the compressor option that you have here, and 2 blocks of effect per channel. I don't see what you can't do. And what do you mean by you can use external effect only as from the effect rack? No, there's way more way to do this. I would just need to know what you're trying to achieve, because if you have some like wave stuff that you're saying, because you say I use a wave with all my band and I like the built-in effect, but the LA2A is better in Studio Grid. Okay, but let me say something straight. Maybe the LA2A is better in the sound grid. How do you want to process that? Because there's many way to have, like, if you've seen my vlog about the LA Studio, the way I set up my channels is I basically take the preamp, send them into Cubase, create a insert with the channel strip, like you could do with multi-wave rack, and inserted on my channel as a external effect in Cubase. I'm sure you can do this the same in and out in like a wave. How does it called? How does software is called? Is it sound grid? You can probably insert 24 track there and send them back into the console and use the fader to write that. So there's many workaround. Maybe you're more a LV1 user. Maybe the wing is not the optimal option for you. Those of you who knows, please, how much costs? What is the cost of an LV1? Because I saw some people using DIY wave server, and you can get some really okay. Side note here, I joined a group on Facebook called DIY Wave Server, and the amount of processing that you can do with a cheap old server grade computer is crazy with the wave stuff. And because I start to play around with all my my server stuff for my NAS, because doing a lot of editing, video editing, required me to have a lot of storage. I start to poke around, the recyclers around me, and the amount of stuff that you can get for dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. Server hardware stuff. I'm almost thinking about switching from the wing to an LV1 kit, because it would give me way more processing available. The only thing I don't have is the in and out, because I would like to keep my DL251. If I can find a way to have my DL251 communicate straight into a wave server and use that, all the wave processing for everything, and send that out into a left, right, front of house, having a couple fader, probably gonna do the move. Not because I don't like the wing, it has a lot of feature, but if I can have unlimited amount of in and out, because I believe you're only hardware limited with the LV1 stuff, so 1,700 euros, it's cheaper than a wing. I would need to see. Okay, back to your question. I understand, but when you root to a PC and back at the console, when your PC is dying, you can't resume the show. The wave insert, you disable the insert easily. I know, but it's a workaround. Same thing would happen if you were to run a wave card that apparently is going to come out at some point. I don't want to say soon, but I'm going to say at some point there will be a wave card for the wing. Maybe have a quick routing option, a quick menu recall, routing recall, where if everything goes down the toilet, you can just press that scene, and that would resume. It's only 32 channel at 1,700 euros. Okay. The S series from Digico. Yeah, but we're talking about a mixer that is 10 times the cost. How much is that an S series from Digico? I know I don't use them. Well, I usually use them, but I don't buy them. So I don't know the price of an S series from Digico. Will be interesting to know. Yeah, actually, Andy's got a really good one here. Use the wave card when it's come as a alternate channel or source. Actually, you could do the same thing with just USB or running Dente in the back and switch that. It's 8,000 euros. Yeah, it's probably cheaper too. The wing is probably way cheaper. It's probably half the price, right? So maybe I'm not gonna say that you can't do it. I'm just gonna say maybe if you want to spend double, maybe you're gonna have more feature that will be helpful. I don't want to bash on the Wing or Digico because I love both platform. They are really good. The only platform you're gonna probably hear me say bad thing about is Aladdin. I'm sorry. So far, not been pleased with the time that I've used Aladdin stuff. And what else? Oh yeah, the smaller series from Soundcraft. Not a big fan. Or actually, the XR gave me a really hard time last week because I don't know if you guys know, but for me, and I'm not the only one. For me, the XR app is unusable. Every time that I turn it on, I can connect to the console, I can mute and move the fader. Anything else that I touch. If I want to set up a name, if I want to set up a EQ, if I want to set up anything, the app just crashed on me. And I realized that at the beginning of the show the other day, where I was trying to do a sound check, the console or the application keep crashing on me like I could not use it. I had to use Mixing Station. Where's Pancho? Pancho? Mixing Station. I had to use Mixing Station to oh yeah, even Behringer recommend the Mixing Station app. But okay, yeah, Mixing Station. Mixing Station saved my butt that day. Because otherwise I would never been able to do the show. So, XR don't support iOS 16 yet? Yeah, tell me about it. But yeah, it saved my butt. It saved my butts for real. I had a hard time. Actually, I run with both apps, so I was setting up everything on my channel in Mixing Station, and because I didn't have the license for it, it kept crashing after 15 minutes. So I did all my EQs and everything. And after that, went to the XR just to like write the fader and mix my show. But it was a pain in my yeah. So nope, not happy with the XR at the moment. Maybe it will change. Maybe with iOS 16 it will be all fine. Or if they just keep going with the Midas app, it will be totally fine for me. But no, not really pleased by it so far. But okay, to get back on the Digico and the Wave server stuff. Yeah, I don't know. The Digico stuff is good. Let me ask you guys, what do you think? Do you think a Wave card would fix all those problems? Do you think we will have enough stuff happening in and out and processing wise and a way to insert stuff when the Wing, when the Wave card get released? Do you think we'll be able to use the Wave card as input for channels so we can do some pre-processing on there and apply that to the chain? Because I don't see how we can apply processing or more processing or insert stuff with the way that the console is set up right now if we have a Wave card. I don't see how it could be integrated into the console. If there's a way, I don't think there is. If there's a way that we can have all or wave in and out from the wave card inserted on channel, and we can like take our channel insert and just do, you know, like a custom stuff and take the second insert. How did I do that? Take the second insert and change that and put it anywhere in the chain. Maybe we could have like a signal chain from wave in there. Let's say that we're gonna have, I don't know, or gate or EQ, and before the compressor you would like to have a wave signal chain in there, adding, you know, like a C6 and auto-tune and whatever other stuff that you want, a leveler, and after that sending that into the wing compressor and do it. It would be cool. Otherwise, I don't see how it would make sense to have the wave stuff, but I will end this one on a downer. I'm really sorry, but I think you're just fine with the LA2A from the wing. I know the LA2A on the wave stuff sound good, but probably no one will notice other than you. No offense. Most of the time, people don't. I mean, the way that we hear stuff is different. I mean, as a sound engineer, is different from the crowd perspective. Even when I go to a show, I don't listen to the plugins. I don't listen to stuff and say, oh yeah, we're really using a lexicon plate here. I just hear reverb. So, difference between two different plugin of an LA2A, I doubt just a little bit here. I think you're fine with the LA2A from here, but I could be wrong. Maybe you're doing something where we can definitely hear the difference. Maybe in a recording situation, I would totally agree with you, but live, if you're doing live, I don't think so. Okay, let me... What did I do? Okay. We're still live, okay. Let me read the chat. Dente card is an option. Yes, Dente. Fine with Dente. Good. Yeah, Dente card will allow you to... will be the same as on the M32 or X32. I don't know, Andy. I never used a Dente I never used Dente or wave card on X32, so I would need to know that. Wave sound bridge should work just fine, as you can get very low latency today using Dente. Agreed. And wave is known to be better in latency to the Cusware integrated network setup, maybe. Okay. I use from Wave the LA2A, the vocal writer, the bass writer, the wave tune, RC, and so not only one plugin. Yeah, but all that stuff is already in the wing, right? You have the vocal writer, maybe not the bass writer, but you have some kind of writer in there. And the wave tune is really, really close to what we have with the pitch plugin in there. So 5 milliseconds of latency on that. Okay. One more stupid question. What is an all-pass filter? And how to use it? Really interesting question. I know I asked that one a long time ago, but this is not, I'll be honest, this is not something that I really use. But let's dive into this. This is why we're here, right? So if I remember correctly, the all pass is somewhere in here. We go in the filter and we could change it from here. Any guys have a refresher about the all pass filter? It's been a really long time since I've used it. So let's take a look at the control that we have. First, well, in the low cut we have this. Low cut here, we have the higher frequency one that is not active. We can activate that, and we can activate the all pass filter. If I remove, just for fun, having a lot of low end on my microphone, and that's overlaying the EQ here. So let's take a look at what we have here with the all pass filter. It has a Q, it has a frequency. Okay, I'm just gonna turn everything else on. Oops, my bad. Wrong channel. So, all pass filter. All pass filter. I don't remember what it is, because this is not something that I'm using every day. Actually, it's not something that I use at all. Something to do with correcting phase. Is it phase flipping? Can you flip the phase at that frequency? Is that what's happening? Let's take, just for fun, let's take a listen. Oh yeah, I definitely hear some stuff happening. I don't know for you guys, but I'm hearing something shifting. So yeah, when you say that, it flipped the phase. Okay. It's fine to calibrate the snare to overheads and probably... so yeah, it's to correct the phase on 2 microphone where you can flip the phase starting at a certain frequency range. I'm gonna guess, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but when you're having like subs that are not in phase with your sound system and you cannot have access to flip the phase on them, you can probably apply this to your main out and save your butt if your subs are out of phase or you have phasing issue in between blocks. It's a question. It's not an affirmation. I do not... This is not a thing that I use a lot. This is probably the stuff that you will find more into a system tech toolbox than a sound engineer. Well, actually now it's in the sound engineer toolbox, but it's basically flipping the phase, right? Is there a way to see it? This one is flipping at 90. I'm hearing between me talking and I don't know how perceptible is it for you guys, but I'm hearing a difference between when I'm switching between 100 and a 90, and when I flip around the phase, when I move it around the frequencies, I hear it a little bit. Just for fun, I'm gonna take it out from now, and I'm gonna leave it to tilt EQ. But let's try this on a pink noise, just for fun. How good is the sound of a pink noise, right? So we're gonna stop the music. I'm gonna go here. I think I have a pink noise in my rack here. No pink noise. We're gonna change that. We're gonna lower this. Can you guys hear the tone? Let me know if you hear that tone. We're gonna go in the routing menu, oscillator, and we're gonna open up this. I need to go source, oscillator 1. Is it this one? Yes, it's this one. We're gonna change that to stereo. Can we change it to stereo? We cannot have stereo pink noise. Could we have stereo pink noise? Okay, let's go on the white noise just for fun. And I'm gonna remove all the other processing on this channel. So no EQ, no compression, no reverb, no other insert. Let's just for fun try out the filters, all pass filter, and let's all listen to white noise. I just want to make sure that everything is disabled here. Can you guys hear the white noise? And we're going to start to apply at 1K. We're going to leave it to factory default here. Some phase flipping. Doesn't do much by itself. So, what we could do is take another channel and create an out of phase and see the result of this. So we got to take a channel, got to remove everything, and I'm going to set the source of that channel to be oscillator Oscillator 1. More pink noise. Just want to make sure that we get nothing in here. I'm gonna put them both at the same level. How fun is it to listen to white noise? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna come back here. We're gonna go all pass filter, and we're gonna start to flip the phase. Can you guys hear that? So it's basically flipping the phase. If we go 90 degrees, okay, just for fun now, let's, for real, flip the phase on this one. And I'm going to take the all pass filter off. I should have, if I set my stuff correctly, a total phase inversion here. Why is it not fully phase inverted? Let me try that again. Am I using the same oscillator? Am I adding delay? Am I? Oh, it's not going to at the same level into the main out. So we're gonna set that. So right now, yeah, no bass, right? So can we switch that? Is it more fun, you think, to listen to it as a pink noise? We'll take a listen. So right now what we did is basically we took a channel, right now it says keyboard, but don't mind that. We're sending out a pink noise, out of phase, and we have this one here that is in phase, canceling out each other pretty much perfectly. It's not perfectly disabled, but if I flip the phase on this, is going to get loud. Careful. Basically, we're inverting that signal. We're canceling it. Now, just for fun, let's try the phase filter. If I flip the phase on this thing, I will stop canceling signal. I have a, oh, sorry. That's probably the 0.1 that we're hearing, right? On this one. It's almost canceling. And I have a 0.1 on this one too. Hold on. Can I cancel it but the 0.1? I still hear it a little bit. Is it because of this plate? Oh, I was sending signal out to the plate. So I was hearing this in the plate. So right now I'm really canceled out 100%. Why? Because I didn't check my stuff all the way and I had some leftover particles floating around of unused stuff. So need that all fader 0 button? It's coming. Okay. Now everything is totally canceled out. Let's, for fun, dive into the AP90. So a 90-degree flip should result in only part of cancellation flipped out, because 100, when you flip the phase like we did here with the phase totally invert, can you see that? The green icon says phase invert. When you flip the phase 180 degree, we cancel everything out. But by 90 degree, it should not cancel. It should do something weird. Let's see what happened if I flip the phase at 320. So it's flipping everything up. So it's basically flipping the higher frequencies. Or am I understanding right? Is it flipping the lower frequency, but because I'm canceling out, it doesn't? It's flipping the phase. Basically at 90 degree. If we go 180 degree, it seems to go the other way around. We're only left with lower end energy, which is basically reflipping everything back in phase. And just for fun, we're gonna have a visual indication of what's happening here. We have the keyboard and my fake snare bottom tricks that I've shown many times, sending out a pink noise. Let's see the resultant of that if I switch to my main EQ. I only have that notch. For fun, I'm gonna change the phase flip on that one with a wider Q and the lower frequency. 160. Let's see what happened. I'm left with way more. Let's tighten the Q. Not changing the frequency this time. Let's just tighten the Q. I'm gonna end up with just like one frequency, right? Almost. Let's tighten it a little more. It goes up to Q of 5. Let's see the resultant of that. You're absolutely right, Andy. This is what we're this is the observation that we have right now. If I stop talking, the RTA of the main out, this is what you guys hear on YouTube. We will only see at the frequency that I said that I set the filter at, we're gonna have a phase flip there. So it would make sense to use this, and I'm gonna just turn that off. It would make sense to use this if you are trying to set the phase, or if you're having phase issue with the bottom end of your snare with your overhead, it will totally make sense. If you have other stuff maybe that's causing phasing issue at a specific frequency, you can probably use that, but it's not flipping. I thought for a second it was flipping, like, you know, starting at that point from the bottom up or from the up to down, but not doing it this way at all. I'm not sure to understand fully how the 90 degrees flip is working and what's the effect on it. I hear something, but I'm not 100% of what really happening. Let's take a quick look at it again, just for fun. Why am I not out of phase here? Oh, because I turned it down. My bad. 0 to 0. Totally canceled out. Let's take a listen to that again. Flip 90. It's basically a filter. So it's gonna filter the higher end or lower end? Because I'm phase flip here, it's confusing me a lot. I would need to dive into this a little more, but basically understanding what's happening with the 0 phase or 100 degrees phase filter here, maybe it's going to help you to resolve some problem, but I will put this in the advanced category. I don't think a lot of people have some people have the need for it, but not a lot of people will have the need for it or understand how to use it. Even I myself, other than like the example that we're giving for phasing issue between your snare and your overhead, I don't know how I would change this. Maybe on some sound system where I have phasing issue, come filtering, maybe that could help me a little bit. But seriously, it's a cool feature. I'm not going to use that often in my life. And that's probably going to be the quick cut of next week. Probably going to have this as a cut from the live stream. So if you excuse me for a second here, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do the quick intro and outro. Say, hi, welcome to another quick cut video. This was, I don't know why I'm doing this. Every time that I try to speak to the camera, it doesn't work. When I just flow out with you guys, totally fine. But if I want to say, hi guys, welcome to another quick cut. This is an outtake of the live stream that I'm doing every Monday. Today we're talking about, I don't know how to speak anymore. Today we're going to talk about the AP filter, the 90-degree one, and then, I don't know, man. Today we're going to talk about the AP filter, the 90 and 100 degrees phase flip option that you have for every channel in the wing. That's going to be the cut for that one. And after that, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. If you want to join us every Monday, we're doing a live stream every Monday here at 1:30 New York time. Make sure to check out what time is it. Make sure to check out what time is it in New York, and if you want to see us man, I'm having such a hard time doing these. This is why it's taking me so long to do video, guys. You understand now? So join us every Monday at 1:30 p.m. to hang out, ask questions about the wing, and until then, I see you guys later. That's got to be the quick cut for next week as soon as I can. Probably in a day or two, I will have some time off at the hotel. We'll be able to download this video, do the quick cut, and explain this into a video that will remain on my channel. Because apparently, some of you guys, even if you have the bell and subscribe to my channel, you don't see when I go live. So if you want to get notification when I'm going live, please make sure to subscribe, ring the bell, and say enable notification. Such a pain to make sure to not miss the live stream, but you know, it's part of the process, I guess. So back to the chat. I have my quick cut, my video for next week. We'll see what happens. Till the end of this live stream, really glad to be with you guys. Also, while we're at it, make sure to hold on. Okay, we're back. Background music. Okay, we're at it. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you want to have a talk with us in the chat, you must be subscribed to talk with us. And also, if you guys want to support me in what I do, try to become a member or a super member of the channel. Super member get access to 1 hour of video consultation every every month with me. If you want to support me and also get something out of it, become a super member of the channel. You can just send me an email, say, hey, I'm a super member of the channel, and this month I would like to have my free consultation with you. It will be a pleasure for me to do so. I actually have one after this live stream. A gentleman called Smith that sent me an email. Need help with his live rig. I don't know. We will have a chat together about his rig. Supermember will get new firmware. Actually, everybody will get the new firmware as soon as it get released. No privilege here. Actually, it would not be a good idea for you to run the firmware because it's not ready yet. Still some stuff to be fixed. Still some communication in between software, new software communication stuff that needs to be fixed. No really bug so far on the wing. It's just, communication and intercommunication of network stuff happening. So stick around. It's not ready yet. You probably don't want any restaurant to serve you uncooked chicken. So firmware is like chicken. You want to make sure it's well done. How long? How long will it take? I don't know. I'm not in the secrets. Well, actually, not in that one. It will be ready when it's ready. Oh, I can smell it. Actually, I can brag about it. I'm running 1.13 right now. Not the latest one. There's a new one that is not... Well, actually, I need to do an update on my side, but it's not released yet. And it's not going to be that long, guys. It was this firmware here was supposed to be the one that will get released. Somebody found a bug somewhere. Some of the beta tester found a bug, and it's delayed the release of it because we want to make sure... Actually, I'm not part of it. Music Tribe want to make sure that you guys get the good stuff, not the crappy one like I'm getting, buggy software that have a hard time communicating with some other software perfectly. So wait for it. It's not ready, guys. As soon it's around the corner. It just need to be. You need the icing on the cake. You need the cherry on the sundae. I don't know. Figure out your own metaphoric phrase here for that. Okay, what do you guys want to talk about? Yes, I never hit it. The Wing editor is a Wing Edit. It's called Wing Edit. It's going to be released probably at the same time as the firmware does, or within a day. But they're going together. This is why we need a new firmware for the console to integrate all the feature and all the under the hood stuff to communicate with the software. There will also be a new version of Copilot to go along with that. So iPad software will be, or tablet will be updated too. So yeah, this is actually, I believe, and I'm not in the secrets, I believe this is why it's taking so long, because you have to deal with a update on the tablet software, update on the computer software, update on the computer inside the console software. A lot of stuff happening and lots of communication, because when you doing a move on the console, you want your move to be replicated somewhere else at the same time in real time. So everything has to talk through a network. And when you're doing a move on one, you want to make sure it relates to the real thing happening on the other side. So we'll see. A wing rack. That I don't know. I have no information about that whatsoever. I'm going to guess one day there will be a wing rack, because the rack X32 was such a useful tool to have. I used to have one for myself when I was in the cover band. I sold that to the guy from Five Roses, actually, and the guys from Sucker Punch, the band, one of the other band that I'm working with. If you are into 2000s punk rock, go check out my friends of Sucker Punch. And if you are into country, make sure to look my vlog where I show how I did a live event for Five Roses. I have a song there where I explained everything that I did, and the show file is there if you guys want to download the show file. Also, I'm going to note the show file from Dorian Studio, the Dreamweaver Studio, is also under the vlog. If you go in the description, you have the show file from there. If you guys are on Cubase and you want to see what we did, this firmware will integrate perfectly your wing with Cubase. So up to you guys if you want to take a look at that or not. Please make sure that the software is under version 12. So as soon as if somebody watching this further in time, where other software are updated, maybe it will be buggy. I don't know. We begin to mention the fact that the wing and some Midas stage box need to do a break-in for phantom power. What? What are you talking about, Ralph? You know, when you change the scene, the wing send program MIDI change, I would not know. That will be a question for Patrick, actually. Yeah, the new stage box will probably have, or the stage box will have a new firmware, I think, to go along with the update for it. Yeah, charging the capacitor for first time on input. Oh, actually, I didn't know that. Well, makes total sense, but there's no, like, break-in, right? Like, after a few seconds, it's ready to go. And I think it should be done by the factory, or my DL251 had that from factory, because it was checked and tested in firmware update before sent out my way. So I don't remember. Well, it's been a long time since I have my 251, so I don't remember what happened there. The phantom power circuits need to run for a few minutes before it's stable. Okay, I never actually had that happening to me. But I guess, now that I'm in the know, I would turn on the phantom power for a few minutes before setting up my stuff. We'll see. Makes total sense. When I use mixing station with the wing, and your wing is locked at the EQ RTA reads, the channel selected on the wing is not the mixing station. Has anyone noticed that? That's a bug, I believe. Pancho, you can tell me more about that. I would not know about this one. I never used the wing with mixing station, to be honest. Actually, I try as much as I can to avoid having an iPad when I'm using the wing. This is what I bought it, because before that I was running a X32 core, and the DL251 is my main rig for everything, and it's been like really good so far. I only grabbed the wing to have, you know, my own stuff to deal with at the other end of the snake, and I try to avoid as much as possible to mix with an iPad anymore. It gives me back problem, because I did for 8 years, or actually 6 of those 8 years, mixing with an iPad X32 core, holding an iPad like this and spending my night doing 3-hour sets of cover band, doing this, watching the show, mixing my stuff, you know, dealing with my DCA, and, you know, having my head down on my iPad and my arm lift like that. I have back problem because of that. It's not working for me anymore. Now I carry around a straight stand with an iPad clip on it. Actually, I have my iPad clip here. I just put that on a straight stand, and now I just stand straight and just use my finger like if I was tapping on a computer, but standing up. This is what I do, because otherwise my back doesn't survive a 3-hour show anymore. Can I buy your X32 core? No, you can't, because trust me, I love it. I know it's out of stock everywhere. I would like to have. Actually, maybe I will sell my X32 core one day, as soon as I could put my hand on a M32C. It's basically an M32 core. I don't know if it sounds better. I think processing wise it's exactly the same thing, but it's probably better. I don't know. Yeah, actually, because it's where are you located? Let me know. We'll discuss live. I don't care. We'll discuss live. We're not gonna talk about price, but let me know how far you are. Maybe I can You got an X32 core last week for $450. Wow, that's a deal. If you have a couple more, send it my way. I'm in Canada. It will be a costly shipping cost. Plus, I'm not gonna get rid of it for cheap. Like, for $450, I'd rather keep it. Okay, funny story. You want to know why I think too that the X32 core is not as good as the Midas one? Because, life story time. I was doing a show with my friend Simon. We were doing a quick setup, small. Well, it was not a quick setup. We're doing a long show and we had a really short time to set up. And I was supposed to mix everything. Back then, I had my X32 core in a rack, in a 2U rack, and my stage box on the other side. I was running a cable between them, and I was using the function keys on the X32 core. And for some reason, my custom control didn't really follow on that show. So I was left over with the default setting on the X32 core. And I don't know if you guys know, but on the X32 core, you have your first rotary knob, which is the channel fader. After that, you have on the second one, master fader. And after that, on the push button, you have scene recall. See where I'm going with this? At the beginning of the show, well, I'm doing my sound check. I forgot to save. I forgot to save. Forgot to save my show. I had a show that was really, really close to this one, so I started my sound check out of this one. Did my sound check, had a different keyboard player, had a different stuff happening, reset up my stuff for the people that were there, setting up mixes and everything. And at the beginning of the first song, after 8 bar in, I decide to have my delay on and tap my delay. Instead of tapping my delay, I recalled another show. Live, in front of the crowd. The band was playing, and I pressed recall. Many time recall. It was actually not even the good band that I loaded, so it was not even close to being right. Took my iPad, reload the show that I started my sound check with, roughly remember what I did, like, setting up gain on keyboard, vocal send and stuff like that. Half of the band was the same band that did that show. So I had the singer right, I had the bass and keyboard right. Not the keyboard, I had the bass and guitar right, and the drum too. So keyboard was new, or had another guitar player. I don't know. I tried to forget about that one. But basically, reloaded the sound check, the starting show from the sound check, quickly doing my gain, make sure that everybody was hearing right, doing a quick keyboard sound check, firing up, go. We did a song, and I actually end up doing monitor, doing the first song for front of house, running with an iPad around, ask everybody, are you fine with the keyboard? Are you fine with everything? Everybody was fine with everything. Got the thumbs up, and we went on with that gig. But the amount of stress that thing gave me, we were on the boat. I almost threw the X32 core out by the window. No joke. So the M32 core do not have those options. And I believe this is better. Seriously. Because if somebody was to, accidentally fall and hit those knobs, it would have recalled the show anyway. So I believe it's not a good idea to have that by default. I believe custom control by default should be empty. So you decide what you set up there. I believe it's a better idea. So this is why I want to upgrade. I'd say the X32 core was not the fault one here. Your Tom was. Ladies and gentlemen, say thank you to Patrick. That used to be my moderator here. He's gonna get... No, seriously. Yeah, it's my fault. It's totally my fault. I'm human. I make mistake. The good thing that I've learned about it is I've made mistakes. I fix it quickly. And I went on. And it took like literally a 2-minute show stop. Not ideal. But I've turned around quickly. And this is what... I'm going to be pretentious enough to say this is what makes me a good sound engineer. In the sense of... I made a mistake. As a human that I am. It could have been, keyboard player that reset all his patch live. I made a mistake with a machine. I thought I was doing tap tempo on that chord. Going tap tempo on it. But it didn't. What makes me good, or not that good, not that bad. What makes me a professional in that situation is within 2 minutes, we did a turnaround, put on ambient music back, no lights, but turn off the lights. And we start the show over again. Same song, everything, everybody was happy. I fixed it quickly. And I'll be honest to say, I'm not the best sound engineer out there. There are people that can nail down stuff way more precisely than I do. And I'm the first one to admit it. If you give me some time, eventually I'm getting there. But my magic skill, the reason why people hire me is I have a really, really quick turnaround time. Let's say we are doing a festival show. I have 30 seconds to EQ monitor and ring them out. Give me an iPad and my 58. Put that on the stand. Hey. Done. I'm going to mix the show. Let's say as a monitor engineer. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to have my band, no sound check on stage, doing quick gain and everything. Get some mix going and have like a singer with a pair wedge. I can do that under 5 minutes. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be functional enough to get a show going. And that's the reason why people hiring me. That's the reason why I sometimes in festival situation as a local crew step in on some show where I had a Cuban band of 24 people, background vocal, percussion set, drum, bass, 2 guitar, keyboard, 3 singers. Took a 58 myself, did some rough gain, sent that into monitor, just throwing signal everywhere. And I did a sound check for all these 24 people under 5 minutes. Of course, during the first song, they were asking me stuff, but not out of the ordinary. Like the drummer had everything that he needs to follow in his monitor before starting up the show. The singer, the background singer, we're hearing the singers themselves, same level, and it was fine. So quick reaction sometimes going to lead you or leap you way further than doing like really precise stuff about everything. So up to you to decide if you want to be those like really detailed sound engineer that are in the studio, or if you want to be out in the trench, going at sound war, doing the right thing. I'm one of those warrior. Twilight Zone, will you be at Le Franco de Montréal in June? Actually, no. It's been a couple of years since I've done Montreal Franco Foley and Montreal Jazz Fest. I did that for 9 years and moved on to some other challenge with my life. Of course, if you are there and you want to have a coffee, I'm really I'm really down to have a hot dog on the street with you. It will be a pleasure for me to visit the Franco. It's been a long time. I know probably a lot of people who work there. Hi to everybody that I know that worked there. Probably could drop by one day and say hi, but usually on those days I'm out in other festival in the province doing other stuff. So yeah, Pancho could have been worse. Sorry, I'm reading. Yeah, indeed, knowing your stuff by muscle memory. Sometimes can give you trouble, sometimes can save you time. What's the UDK on the LS9? I know the LS9. User defined. Oh, the user defined key. Do not rest your hand or put your mic too close to them. Yeah, a falling talkback can result in some really, really weird stuff. Those old LS9. I like those old LS9 as a monitor console because you had 32 channel in front of you. You use the user-defined key or the button next to the screen, and you could do monitor really quickly on them because you simply just click on those send on fader. It wasn't send on fader, but one knob per monitor send. So you could just go like click doing your stuff, click doing your stuff, click doing your stuff. As long as you add gain and EQ like done already, you could just build monitor mix or in-ear mix like that fast. It was really cool console for that. Sounded like garbage. Sounded like a cheap MP3. You can quote me on that. I will back that up. But it was cool to do monitor. What else you guys want to talk about? Because if you guys don't have any more question, I'm gonna end the stream. Maybe. Hey Sam, oh, you're not gonna like this one. What's the best way to get rid of touchscreen on the mixer? Replace the screen. It's the only way. I'm sorry, it's a hardware default. It's a hardware fault, actually. Using the right word here. It's a faulty hardware process that happened on your screen where it just register unwanted touch event. Like if you were to touch, it's basically the touch sensor that is shorting, if I understand correctly. It's shorting a different spot if it was hit or if you drop your talkback mic on it. So basically the only way to get rid of it is to replace the screen, and I think it's getting better right now. I know at the beginning of the year 2020 it was more problematic to get a replacement touchscreen, but now there are more options for that, and there are way that you can replace your screen easily. So be on the lookout for that. If you have touchscreen issues, send out a tickets to Music Tribe using the email there. But yeah. Rob, it's a really dark coffee that I'm drinking. I'm drinking Starbucks right now, but homemade Starbucks. I'm buying those really huge bags of bean at Costco, and I'm having my own coffee machine at home. Auto grind, just drop the beans in there. It makes the perfect coffee for you, perfect temperature, and you can do just a single cup. It's basically an espresso machine that can do Americanos and stuff like that. I don't drink espresso anymore because I end up drinking too many of them a day. It's already my 5th coffee today, so I try to calm down on the coffee, especially if this is a strong one. It's a strong blend from Starbucks, so yeah, I try to calm down my coffee. addiction a little bit. Will the firmware upgrade release with an app for a computer as well? I believe so. Yeah, Wing Edit should be released roughly around the same time, if not at the same time. Rolf, about your LA vlog. At a certain moment, I was afraid that you would put food plate on the wing. No, because it was not my wing, and it was slanted. Mine, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but mine is laying flat. I have a custom designed case. I don't remember. Somebody asked me a long time ago to do a video about my case, but I have a custom designed case that I built myself out of an old light console road case. Basically took it all apart, cutting everything, putting it back together, and I have a layer of foam around the console that make it standing up or make it flat, so I can put my coffee on it. I can put my keyboard on it right now. And it's also easier for me to have the top camera looking at the screen, because otherwise, my top camera is really on top of the console. And if I put my screen totally flat, I cannot see it, but the camera can see it really well. If I'm lifting it up just enough so I can see it, you guys can see it really well, and I don't have to put my camera, like really at an angle, like almost over my head here to see at the angle of the screen. So, basically, that's why I'm not putting plate on others people's wing. Actually, when it's my console, if I drop a coffee on it, it's my problem. If it's somebody else's console that I drop a coffee on it, it's also my problem, but I have to buy a new one right away. So I try to avoid those unpredicted expenses. That's not espresso. What do you mean it's not an espresso? What a comment about the vlog. Waiting for the plate to flip over. Come on, guys. You have to trust me a little more than that. I'm an expert when it comes to put stuff on the wing. You should know that, right? In LA, actually... Yeah, Rob got it right. It's an those are old fader from Control 24 from Avid, or now Avid Control 24. Is it Avid that made the Control 24, or was it Pro Tool branded under Avid? I don't remember. But it's basically old fader from that. And to be honest, they fit, but not that well. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm gonna raise this fader. You guys cannot see it. I'm gonna raise this one. No, which one should I? Okay, you guys can see this one. Actually, I'm gonna show you. Is it picking up on my hand? There you go. There's a little crack inside the fader in the bottom, and this one is like a millimeter tighter than the one from the Control 24. So when you put the Control 24 fader on it, it would snap if you put it down on the right side, but if you were to hit it too hard, it was just not tight enough that it would move. So what I would do if it was my personal console, I would take the fader, the middle part under the fader here, and bend it slightly, like a millimeter of bend on it, and really push down on those fader to really snap it in there, and it would do the job. But it was not a perfect fit. It was fine, but as you saw later on in the vlog, I just keep hitting them, because when you push on it, when you push basically on the fader from this angle, they would pop up this way. So this is why it's fine, but I do not recommend it without any more modification to your console. But some people are lucky, they get the silver one like Patrick does. But or actually, the other way to do it would be just a spray can. It's plastic. I'm pretty sure you can paint them really easily. So if you want to have different color of fader, you have three options actually. You have to buy some old one and you wish to fit. You can paint these, or you can ask somebody to print 3D fader or 3D print for you some fader in there, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna fit. If you're not lucky like Patrick, who has gray one on his fader on his console, because I think I can fairly say that Patrick has a prototype console. Love the silver knob. Are they metal or are they just silver looking? Are they chrome or just silver? Your fader, Patrick. I think Rob too. You got one too, right? You got one of those prototype console. Silver fader, yeah. Chrome. It's chrome. Really nice. They should sell them. And they are metal. Oh, they are metal. I didn't know that. Probably coated. Okay. Okay, so it's silver coated or chrome coated stuff. Okay, really nice. Could we use the M32 fader? That's a really good question that I don't have the answer. Brian, how can I improve my broadcast mix in terms of volume? I use my Wing as a front of house and broadcast mixer. Actually, I have a video about that, but I can show you my mastering if I can move my coffee out of the way. I can show you quickly my mastering chain that I'm doing, and I would suggest you to use this on your console. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna take the pink noise out. And we're gonna come and take a look at what's going on here. So I have my microphone running fairly loud into my bus 1. Let's start with that, just for fun. The way I process my microphone is I make sure that I'm getting really good loud signal out of the microphone itself. Basically like in the studio where you modulate everything to -18 or a little closer to that. I send that out to my main out, and on my main out I have a couple plugins to help me getting a really good level. I have a compressor on my channel that's kicking into the G-Bus compressor on the main out. Right now it's a little low. I can probably lower that down a little bit. I can have more compression on my main out. I use about 3 dB of compression with the 0.3 milliseconds of attack auto release, 3:1 ratio. I'm basically grabbing transient with this one. After that, I send that into a limiter. On my limiter, I make sure to get 1 to 3 dB of compression or limiting in there, and I make sure that I send that out to -0.25 dB. This will give me the loudest volume possible without distortion, because the limiter is acting as a last stop for every it's basically allow me to send as much signal as I can without reaching digital clipping. And and by limiting the output at -0.25, it give me a 1/4 of a dB of space before clipping. So I just avoid to have a red light goes on in OBS and stuff like that. I'm gonna move my coffee mug from here. It's basically allow me to have, as much volume as I possibly can without clipping inside OBS. And from there in OBS, I also add another limiter that is at 0.01. So I never touch it. But if for some reason my main out, actually like I am right now, my main out is a little over 0 dB. Curious to see that. Like for some reason I'm over 2.5 dB. So if I were to have that happen by accident, like I did here, that limiter is going to protect me from introducing digital clipping into my signal chain. Now I'm going to put my main out back to 0. Good, I'm zeroed out. I don't add volume with my fader. I just keep everything that's coming in into the limiter back to my fader output at 0 dB. So it's fine. What's up, Dolls of Dream 97? Good to have you back, my friend. And this is basically what I do to my online stream. This is like a mastering chain that you would do on a recording studio. So I would suggest you to do this. Just have a little bit of compression on your main out, limiting. That way you can really send your mix out loud without clipping. Basically, try that. Let me know if it's working fine for you or not. My faders are made chrome plastic. On the funny side, they are gold. On the inside, they are gold coated. Wow. I'm gonna guess gold paint because I don't think you have fader made out of gold. I wish the wing have more tap option to feed matrices like on the X32 and on the M32. What are you talking about? The wing has more option than everything else. Or tap point option, you mean, okay, wait to send out. Yeah, you can send pre-EQ and stuff like that. Actually, can you send the pre-EQ to main to? No, it's just pre or post. Sorry, you will have to deal with pre or post. You don't, actually, hold on. There is no tap option on the main out. Like on the channel, you know, you will have this and you can change your tap point option. You cannot do this on the main out. So you cannot reassign the signal chain there and you cannot change the tap point on the main out. Maybe this is something that they can allow in firmware, right? Maybe we can ask for this. Who knows? Maybe it's possible, maybe it's not. About X32 and wing and for plastic, so coated with X32 knob on the wing. Okay, the X32 knobs fit on the wing even slightly longer, about 3 millimeter than the wings one. Okay, so you can buy use X32 knobs to use on your wing. Really nice. Thank you for sharing information with us, Patrick. Can you show us the new metric stuff on the new firmware? Actually, I didn't have time to dive into this, so the short answer will be not today. Meaning how you can feed the metrics. Not today. I didn't have time to. Oh shoot! I just realized something. Tomorrow, I just see what time it is. Tomorrow, I fly to do a gig in Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon, which are islands on this side of North America that belongs to France. I told you guys about it. Over there, I'm gonna have a Pro 2. Good, always fun to have a Pro 2. But the thing is, the offline editor is not working. So if I want to build myself a show, I need to have a Pro 2 in front of me and build that show. I'm gonna have to ask a friend if I can borrow his Pro 2 for an hour or two, because yeah, forgot about that. And I realized that the place is gonna close in like 45 minutes. Man. Okay, I'm gonna have to ask a favor from a friend to get my show going, and I would need to do a phone call for that. And I've lost my cell phone, and I got other people to. Don't forget to buy some bread in Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon. Of course, I will spend 5 days there, so I will probably do the island twice, right? Okay, on that note, seriously guys, I just realized that I have to run. I hope you find this live stream interesting. If you have any more questions, leave them down in the comments below. If you have not liked this video, make sure to like this video so it tells YouTube that we're doing something good here, and maybe have more people that are interested in that stuff being force-fed through the YouTube algorithm, my live stream. I want to have more people. Okay, seriously, I have to go. So, guys, on this English words are hard today. On this note, thank you very much for being part of these live stream. I cannot make them without you guys. Thank you very much for being here with me, us, this community. I think we're building a community here. Until the next one, next week, where I basically fly back to sit back right here I want you to please take care of yourself. And I see you guys later.